So let's talk about the distraction and the fatigue, because I've seen a lot of studies on with kids and texting, adults on cell phones, falling asleep while you're driving. Are those the types of things that would demonstrate a greater sense of negligence and then in turn a larger award for the injured party?
Well, it would. In fact, if the negligent act gets to the point that it is egregious, it is a reckless disregard for human life, then you even get punitive damages, which is a punishing damage for that action. So there's certain, usually that's your drunk driving, your racing, your hit and runs where you hit, you don't care what you did, you're leaving, you're fleeing the police. All of those things are going to be punitive damages, and that can be a huge, huge value if that's there. But there's also the fact that depending on the negligent act, a jury may be very motivated to deliver a much bigger verdict if it isn't just a, you know, it was raining one day and I slid into another car, if it was that you were going excessively fast, or if it was you were texting. It actually was a study where 19% of the drivers surveyed actually text while they drive on occasion. Well, that is unbelievable. I mean, if you're texting, there's no way you can be watching where you're going.
I think that number is low.
Well, that was just for texting. There's 85% of drivers surveyed that talk on the cell phone.
Okay, because I was going to say, because there's almost like not a car, and, you know, let's be honest, right? People are on the phones. And the interesting thing I've seen from the studies of the phones is, and this I did not believe until I actually really read into it, because I was like, this is nonsense, was the hands-free devices don't change any reaction time at all. Because I thought, all right, it was all, if you're holding it to your head, you can't turn kind of routine, and so the hands-free, the Bluetooth, the bone in the ear or over the car, that somehow makes it better, when in fact it doesn't. Right. And the fact was, what they say, driving while talking on the phone is equivalent to being drunk. And I've seen studies where they showed like an 18 or 19-year-old has the same reaction time as a 72-year-old when they're on the phone. You know, it just impairs their ability to stop and go and see what's happening.
It absolutely does. I mean, the brain kind of disengages from driving and what is traffic doing and how fast am I going, and it begins to focus on the discussions. It's interesting because in another recent study, they found when they had people under the study get drunk and drive through a course, an obstacle course, versus talking on the phone, the ones on the phone were actually worse than the drunk driving. And they also found that for 10 minutes after talking on the phone, they still were less engaged in their driving.
Have you been involved in an auto accident where the other person was on the phone? Did you even see? Did you know? Did you record it? Did you get any witnesses? Do you have somebody that's fighting on your behalf? That's what we're talking about, is how do you know you have a great case? How do you know you're getting everything that you're entitled to? And it doesn't have to just be limited to an auto accident. You could be a pedestrian hit by somebody. You could be in a store and there could be negligence. We want to make sure that you get as much as you're entitled to and you at least have the conversation to protect your rights. So you're unemployed. It's going to be tougher to get a job today with 9.5% unemployment. It's important you get lost wages, you get pain and suffering, you get all the things that you're entitled to. So we're encouraging you to call Richard, have that private one-on-one conversation. If it's something catastrophic, Richard, and somebody can't call or you think it's best to go to them, would you make the effort and go out and talk to them or go to the hospital or go to their home if they prefer that kind of privacy?
Absolutely, yeah. Either myself or someone from my office will always be willing, for any size case, to go see the person who has a personal injury workers' comp or social security disability claim.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.